Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is often referred to as the Bhagavad Gita or the Gita and is a 700-verse Hindu scripture that is part of the epic Mahabharata. It is written by Maharishi Vedavyasa and is considered to be one of the holy scriptures for Hinduism. The Gita is set in a narrative framework of a dialogue between Pandava Prince Arjuna and his guide and charioteer Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the start of Dharma Yuddha or righteous war between Pandavas and Kauravas, Arjuna is filled with moral dilemma and despair about the violence and the death the war will cause in the battle against his own kind. He wonders if he should renounce and seeks Krishna's counsel, whose answers and discourse constitute the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna counsels Arjuna to fulfill his Kshatriya or warrior duty to uphold the Dharma through selfless action. The Krishna-Arjuna dialogues cover a broad range of spiritual topics touching upon ethical dilemmas and philosophical issues that go far beyond the war Arjuna faces. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedic knowledge. It not only teaches you how to handle knowledge, but also how to put it to practical use. Chapter by chapter, it takes you on a journey to understand the various aspects of this supreme knowledge and keeps on narrating how to master them and use them to raise yourself to the highest possible position in life. There are 18 chapters, and let us see the summary of these chapters to understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 1. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. There are 47 verses in this chapter, and the main message or essence of the chapter are: wrong thinking is the only problem in life. Chapter 2. Sankhya Yoga. There are 72 verses in this chapter, and the essence of this chapter is: right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all our problems. Chapter 3. Karma Yoga. There are 43 verses in this chapter, and the message is: selflessness is the only way to progress and prosperity. Chapter 4. Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. There are 42 verses in this chapter, and the message is: every act can be an act of prayer. Chapter 5. Karma Sannyasa Yoga. There are 29 verses in this chapter, and the message is: renounce the ego of individuality and rejoice in the bliss of infinity. Chapter 6. Jana Yoga. There are 47 verses in this chapter, and the message is: connect to the higher consciousness daily. Chapter 7. Gnana Vijnana Yoga. There are 30 verses in this chapter, and the message is: live what you learn. Chapter 8. Akshara Brahma Yoga. There are 28 verses in this chapter, and the message is: never give up on yourself. Chapter 9. Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. There are 34 verses in this chapter, and the message is: value your blessings. Chapter 10. Vibhu Vistara Yoga. There are 42 verses in this chapter, and the message is: see divinity all around. Chapter 11. Viswa Rupa Darshana Yoga. There are 55 verses in this chapter, and the message is: have enough surrender to see the truth as it is. Chapter 12. Bhakti Yoga. There are 20 verses in this chapter, and the message is: absorb your mind in the higher. Chapter 13. Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. There are 34 verses in this chapter, and the message is: detached from Maya and attached to divine. Chapter 14. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. There are 27 verses in this chapter, and the message is: live a lifestyle that matches your vision. Chapter 15. Purushottama Yoga. There are 20 verses in this chapter, and the message is: give priority to divinity. Chapter 16. Daiva Sura Sampada Vibhaga Yoga. There are 24 verses in this chapter, and the message is being good is a reward in itself. Chapter 17 Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. There are 28 verses in this chapter, and the message is choosing the right over the pleasant is a sign of power. Chapter 18 The last chapter Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. There are 78 verses in this chapter, and the message is let go. Let's move to the union with God. I hope the supreme knowledge of Bhagavad Gita helps you raise yourself to the highest possible position in life. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe to Life. Learn, inspire, fun and experiment.